Hi and welcome back to Factories of the Future. And this time we're going to be looking at Offworld, the planetary manufacturing. And to do that, we're going to have a look at how Factorio predicts this in the way its mechanics work. So just quickly, I'll look at basic kind of initial processing / smelting. This is not that challenging, as the main challenge would just be picking up and putting a manufacturing device that we know works for things on another planet, and that's not all that difficult to forecast. It's just like it works. The game does it in an interesting way with either coal or electric powered furnaces, and you take the ore, smelt, and out come the plates. While in real life it's a little bit harder than that. If you're going to a planet to get resources, you obviously know the correct materials are going to be there for a smelting process, so not really something that has to be forecasted too much. So let's have a look at manufacturing and that next step. And this step would be taking that just smelted liquid metal, or whether it's cooled into ingots, and making it into something that you want to transport back to Earth for then final processing. So in the game, you have these constructors. It's kind of like a magic box almost. You just set a recipe, give it the right things, and out come the correct device. In the real world, the only really multifunction production we have is actually chemical based, and on the left here you see an example of a multifunctional chemistry setup, and then on the right you can see in the game it's pretty similar. And so again, this is not that difficult. It just comes down to transportation, which in 50 years, and given the premise of this, forecasting won't be a problem. Next, looking at these huge advances that are coming in the form of like metal pressing to reduce complicated steps of manufacturing. While this is interesting and strong development in the right direction for manufacturing, this particular one is a gigapress used by Tesla to make a final piece for the bottom of their cars. While this is very cool, it's not actually the type of manufacturing we're after, because this is a very specific final product, and if you're on another planet, that's not exactly what you want. You want a product to come back to Earth, and then you can work with it further. So to do that, I think it's going to take a few elements combined together to create this almost magic box that you see in the game. And I think it's a reasonable prediction, but I think these little boxes will probably be larger kind of facilities, or maybe even open air like this gigapress here. So the main elements are, at the bottom left we have some metal 3D printing along with CNC on the bottom right. These are pretty self-explanatory. You can extrude hot metal and produce something. You can also cut away from metal depending on what you're trying to produce or store the metal as. In the top right, you can see currently this machine is multi-purpose, and it is for bending or forming metal plates, and it can also roll up metal, and so that's a good basis. And then in the top left, we've got robotic arms that can manipulate and move things between each of these processes and pack them, get ready to go back to Earth and into the interplanetary logistics system we've talked about before. So all of these combined, I think, will together create these manufacturing universal boxes that they can be ready to go and sent out to other planets in a kind of formulaic way, maybe with slight adjustments depending on what's happening on each planet, but this will give us a product that we can then send back to Earth. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please check out the other two in the series, looking at mining and interplanetary logistics, or the overall introduction video if you're not 100% sure what's going on. Anyway, thank you for watching.